Well, howdy there, Internet people. It's Bo again. So, today we are going to talk about the recent developments. What's happened, what we know, what we can infer, where it goes from here, likely outcomes, what it's going to look like, all of that stuff. And we'll just kind of run through all of it based on the information that we have at time of filming. Okay, so if you have no idea what I'm talking about, Israel has been running some small incursions into Gaza, but they're picking up in speed and the amount of people, the amount of Israeli troops making those incursions. There is no way to know at time of filming if this is the beginning of a large-scale, full-on ground offensive. But it very well could be, and the rhetoric is certainly leaning that way. It certainly appears that the Israeli government is just committed to making all of the same mistakes the United States did. So the obvious question is, what is it going to look like? Fallujah. The most likely outcome is that it looks like Fallujah. A lot of heavy urban combat, a whole lot of loss across the board, especially given the network of tunnels that exists. That's going to make it even harder. And the sheer scale. Again, that's assuming it's a large-scale, full-on ground offensive. And we don't actually know that yet, but it's starting to shape up to look that way. One of the things that I want to note about it looking like Fallujah, this entire time when we've been talking about this conflict or similar conflicts, it's a PR campaign with violence. You've probably heard the phrase a dozen times. It should be remembered that just a couple of days ago, a person who fought in Fallujah, who was not in command, was called a monster. Not even a monster. That was me cleaning it up. Was called much worse because they thought that he was responsible for it. That's the PR these kinds of operations generate. As far as expansion, if Israel is going to launch a full-on ground offensive, basically, the Middle East is in Tehran's hands. They're going to make the decision. This has the potential to spread. There are still countries working, trying to defuse the situation, but don't know how effective they are going to be. There are indications that China is going to kind of step in and try to keep Iran from raising the temperature even more. But it's indications, to my knowledge, that hasn't actually started yet. And it's just like the U.S. talking to Israel. We have no idea how effective it's going to be. So right now, what we know is that the signs are pointing towards them doing a full-on ground offensive. Now, the Israeli military is really good at deception. So maybe this is designed to do something. And if that's the case, it won't be a full-on ground offensive. It'll be pretty limited. But we don't know that. And that's pretty much it. Based on what we have right now, things are trending. They look like Israel is going to move full on in. Which, with the communications blackout that has occurred and the situation that was there to begin with and has only gotten worse, it's going to be a mess. It's going to be a mess. And we are now hoping for cooler heads to prevail in Tehran. Anyway, it's just a thought. Y'all have a good day.